Well, hello everyone. How's it going today? It's Sunday here in Ireland. Today is supposed to be the start of a heat wave, a 3-day heat wave. Today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. Right? Been warned about it on the national TV and everything. And so far, I don't see any mad big heat wave here. It's 23 degrees here in the car. So anyway, so I just got over to meet up with one of my sisters and my brother to have some spuds, right? So he's all welcome to come along, and I might just nip down the road from the place where I'm going for my dinner to visit a little village called Duleek. So he's all very welcome to tag along. So stay tuned. This road I'm on now is called the N1. This, before the M1 motorway was built, was the original road if you were going from Dublin to Belfast and vice versa. And you'd have to go through all the towns, of course, along the way. See in here, this is moorland, this is an old folks home now, right? But that used to be the Rossnaree Hotel, and there used to be a great disco in there. I used to go there. And straight ahead is the Grange Rat shopping centre here, big massive shopping centre, and I'm going left here. Southgate shopping centre, right? And I over there in that shopping centre, before that was even built, years and years ago, when I used to go out in the town in Drogheda, I remember one night after going out with the lads and having the great fun and crack and going to the disco and stuff, I decided I'd walk home. So I live about 4.5 miles from the town of Drogheda, and I had a good few drinks on me, and I was walking out by where that Southgate shopping centre is now, but it wasn't there at the time, right? And there was a hay barn there, and it was full of straw. And what did I do? Of course, I went into the hay barn and went to sleep for a couple of hours, and then got up and walked the rest of the way home. So that's it just shows you there now, that's a whole big shopping centre, and there's hundreds and hundreds of brand new houses all around it there now. And it's just amazing that time stops for nobody, it's just constantly changing all the time. So this road, I call it the Baymore Road, this road here now, you see? And it's going to lead on to the road if you're going from Drogheda to Kilmoon Cross. Okay? And I'll just show you something else in the distance here. See that big building across there? That's the Irish, that's called Platten Cement Factory, right there, right? That cement factory, as far as I know, is the biggest cement factory in the whole of Ireland. It started production in 1972, and I think it has the capacity now to produce 3.5 million tonnes of cement every year in there, right? And I was just reading there about cement, and they're saying that worldwide, with all the cement companies in the world, annually they produce over 4.5 billion tonnes of cement. So there you go. This is a kind of a dangerous section here, I think, with all the, you see, we'll have to come out here now. Yeah, so that's Platten Cement Factory. I think it's the biggest producer of cement in Ireland. in there, and like there's a whole big huge quarry here, limestone quarry, but that limestone under the ground goes all the way, I think, over to the village of Junionstown. So yeah, so the whole area around here will be limestone. Maybe that's useless information, I don't know, but anyway, and in here is an incinerator. There's a big incinerator in there. So there you go. Right, so I just turn in here now. Cairnstown Lodge Gastro Pub. New lunch and evening menus available. Right. So, welcome to Cairnstown Pub here, just outside the village of Duleek. And we'll go in and get the spuds, okay? Well, that was a nice little pit stop there in Cairnstown Lodge there. I had a turkey and ham dinner, and of course a pot of tea. I can't go anywhere without my tea. And it was nice because there was two of my sisters there and my brother, so it was nice to meet up with them. So here I am now, just coming into the village of Duleek in County Meath. It's just outside Drogheda, the town of Drogheda. So here we go. Just turn right here at this junction, and look at that lovely sculpture up on the hill there. Isn't it fantastic? A family sculpture, it's gorgeous. We'll stop and have a look at that now in a few minutes. Oh, it's a gorgeous day now. It's 29 degrees centigrade here now at the minute, so yeah, lovely. Right, I'm just going up here now to show you this sculpture. It's a family sculpture here, and in all the places I've been so far in Ireland, and all of the public sculptures that you see, and sculptures on motorways and stuff, I'd say this one would be hard to beat. This is my favourite sculpture that I've come across so far in Ireland. I'm calling it family, but it's just absolutely fabulous, magnificent. That's all I can say about it. Look at this. Okay, that's just absolutely a fabulous sculpture, I have to say. It's fantastic. Wow, it's nice and warm now. It's about 30 degrees. There's a westerly breeze coming across here, lovely warm westerly breeze. So I'm on the east side of Duleek village here, and over here is Duleek Industrial Estate. So let's walk back into the town here, or into the village, and have a look around. I have to say, if there was a local, what would you call it, tidy town here in Duleek. They're doing a good job because they're keeping the place really very well. Like it's lovely and clean. Yeah, so this is a sign for nannies of Duleek. Food served daily from 12 p.m. Parking at Wheel. I'm going to have to give credit where credit is due here. That estate over there called Millrace. I have to compliment the people because they have it looking absolutely immaculate. It's you know, it's so clean, and they've all the lawns well looked after, and the gardens are lovely. I don't see not a bit of litter anywhere, so fair play to them. Look at that there, the Highland cattle on the cushions, and the cool, isn't it? Here's the local shop here, Londis Food Market, Duleek, in there. And this big pub here, it's all, they built onto it here, but originally this was called O'Neill's. It's now called Nanny's Parlour, and it looks really good. I haven't been in it, but it's a gastro pub and carvery dinner. Stout ales, wines and spirits. Bar open daily from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. Yeah, it looks good. So there you go. Yeah, so that Nanny's pub used to be called, I said, O'Neill's Pub, and I used to go over there years ago to watch live bands playing in it. They had a fantastic big function room, and bar in it, and it was a great place to watch live music. I know it's sunny day and it makes a big difference, but I'm just looking here on the main street going through Duleek here. Now there's a lot of traffic passing through, but it's spotless clean, absolutely spotless clean. Fair play to the people here now, I have to say, fair play to them. And their gardens look lovely with the flowers all in bloom. Look at those flowers there, look in that garden. Aren't they gorgeous? Look. Fantastic. So in here on the sign there, it's calling it the Magdalenes. So here you have, as you can see, all new modern apartments and homes here. Look, and it looks lovely. And again, have a look. Clean, well maintained. Look at all the lovely trees they've planted. And yeah, so all around now the village of Duleek here, you have all these new developments, new builds of homes, and I'd say the majority of the people who live over here now are actually from Dublin, because you know, the house prices are ridiculous up in Dublin, and so they move further down on the commuter belt to villages and towns 30 miles from Dublin. And yeah, so as I said, I know it's a sunny day, which always makes a difference no matter where you go, but still I have to give Duleek a lot of credit. They're really looking after their village, I have to say that. So, I don't know whether they call this the square here in Duleek, right, but it's lovely, isn't it? The trees and the church here, and then there's some older, unique looking, pretty buildings over here. You go over there in a second. Right, just sitting here under the shade of the tree here in this little square in Duleek here. Oh, that is just gorgeous breeze coming now. Oh, that is just lovely, lovely. Oh yeah, we're not used to all this heat here in Ireland, you know what I mean? So when we get it, don't complain, my friends, don't complain. So it's saying here Duleek Heritage Trail, close to the courthouse along the western perimeter of the village green is Connells House, the oldest house in Duleek. This building was in existence at the time of the famous Battle of the Boyne in 1690. So where's that then? Number 1, 2, 3, look at that. Okay, the original house was built in 1795. It was built in 3 stages and was acquired by Father John Kearney to accommodate the parish priest and the curate. It was re-roofed in 1993 and presides over the very elegant village green. At the back of the house are substantial stables and other out offices which in earlier times were used for parish animals. These were built in 1898 and in more recent times have been refurbished as meeting rooms for parish groups and community activity. There you go. Now there looks like a lovely house there for sale. Little cottage, stone cottage, lovely. Oh, look at this, I didn't notice there's a cafe down here as well called The Tribe. Look at the old ruins here too, amazing. Wow. That's called a bejalia, or a butterfly bush that attracts loads of butterflies. Oh, it's just gorgeous here, my friends, gorgeous. Right, so I'm just reading here about this. This was a monastery dating back to the 5th century, and it's saying here, right, the monastery was founded in the late 5th century by Saint Keenan, a disciple of Saint Patrick. The name Duleek, a derivative of Duleek, which means a stone church, first appears in 724 and is the earliest recorded reference in Ireland to a church built in stone rather than wood. So yeah, and then there's a carvings of a high cross here that dates back to the 10th century. All 4 faces are decorated. The west face has images of the Nativity, the Visitation, the Annunciation and the Crucifixion. Inside the church is the head of a second high cross decorated on one face with a crucifixion. Wow. That was really interesting, and this place is only over the road really from where I live. It's about what, 6 miles maybe. Now I've passed by here and you could see the ruins here in the distance, but I never went in to have a look around them, and that saying there, that is dating back to the 5th century. Pretty amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely lovely. Look at that. It's not just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just wondering, is this the cross they're talking about that dates back to the 10th century? Amazing. Maybe that is, look. That's the crucifixion there. I know I'm repeating myself here, people, but it's just lovely. It's a gorgeous day, and it just makes everything look a lot more fantastic. I mean, just look at that there. I mean, that there is from the 5th century. The 5th century, people, and it's still, well, it's a big part of it's still standing, which is just brilliant. And here is, oh, the breeze here is just lovely under the shade of the trees. Oh my God, fantastic. People, if you want to head to the town of Naven, you will go in this direction here behind me, towards Naven. So I'm on the west side of the village of Duleek now, so I'm going to go back in again to the centre. And look at this house here, and look at the flower boxes in the windows, and the prettiness of it. It's just gorgeous, look. Isn't that lovely? Hermitage. Beautiful. Just look at the roses here in this garden here. Look, have to show you this, my friends. It's not just fantastic. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Ah, this is just so cool, man, so cool. So, I'm just reading here, in the village marketplace is a charming monument erected by Janet Dowdall in 1601 in the memory of her late husband William Batt at Cairn Castle. This is somewhat similar to the Batt Dowdall crosses which are seen at the entrance to Ainsbrook House and at White Cross near the entrance to Cairn. Carved on the west side of the projecting band is a small heart encircled by a ring representing conjugal love. So here is Boyle Sports betting shop here, and the Greyhound Bar, Duleek, 1960. I don't know I think this pub has closed down, I think. The Greyhound. My goodness, my Guinness. No matter where you go in Ireland, my friends, you can be sure to find a pub, and beside the pub there'll always be a booking shop. They seem to go hand in hand. There's a coffee shop here. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks bio. Passion for bio coffee. Looks nice. There's that lovely stone building across the road there, beside the square with the lovely trees and the green. Here's another pub called Kelly's Bar and Lounge, and that looks as if it's closed down as well. Let's go down here. Now, isn't that just lovely? The hanging baskets at the entrance into the estate. You know, it just makes all the difference, I have to say. Really nice touch. There's a lovely garden there too, with lovely roses and flowers. Beautiful. So, we all know here in Ireland about the famous Battle of the Boyne, and it's still celebrated, especially in the north of Ireland, with the Unionist community, the victory of William over James, right? And anyway, it's just saying here, I'm just reading off here, at this bridge I'm going to show you here now, when the James, it's saying here, after their retreat from the Boyne, the Battle of the Boyne, both wings of James's army both wings of James's army converged on Duleek to avoid being trapped in a pincer movement by William's army. The bridge at the time was only half its present width, and many soldiers must have waded across the River Nanny. The French Infantry Brigade, which I never knew there was a French Infantry Brigade, covered a confused retreat and James's casualties were comparatively light. Subsequently, the army was able to regroup west of the Shannon to continue the war. So, they retreated across this bridge here, right, which at the time of the Battle of the Boyne in 1690 was half the width it is now. Yeah, so this is the Nanny River here that runs by Duleek village here, and as you can see there, look, just an average river, isn't it? Just meandering its way. We get a tremendous amount of rain here in Ireland, sometimes more than others, and when we have a spell of a lot of downpour, this river and other rivers like it will be no exception, because of all the water coming down from the hills, the hill fields, and all the streams and that make their way into the River Nanny here, right? So you wouldn't think, by looking at that river there now, that at times like that this river can flood its banks, and it has done on a number of occasions, right? And right here is an estate, a housing estate here, right? And look at this wall. This is a concrete wall, that they had to build. God knows how much this cost, right? Because the estate just the other side of this hedge here flooded, sorry, because of the river busting its banks here, right? So I don't know who the engineers were and the planners were that allowed that estate to be built right beside this river and didn't what's the word, didn't allow for such things like, oh, maybe the river might overflow, and built this estate here. So they had to end up, as I said, building this big concrete wall here, right, to stop that estate there, housing estate, from flooding. So there you go. Now, hello cows. Now isn't this just so cool, isn't it? Like, you know, a 5-minute walk from the centre of the village and you're really in the country here, with a field of cows. Look at them, just sitting there chilling out in the summer sun. This may sound mad, right, but sometimes I often wish that I had the mind of a cow. And you might say, and why would you want to have a mind of a cow? Well, you see, I'm like an awful lot of people. You know, I sometimes can't let my mind just chill. It's constantly racing, constantly thinking, sometimes negatively, unfortunately. You know, worrying about stuff that I shouldn't be worrying about, and taking on board everything that's happening in the world, which is, you know, and letting it get to me and stuff, right? But the cows, look at these cows here, right? Look what they're doing there now, right? They're just sitting down. Well, there's one getting up now, right? They just chill. They're not. Does it look like any of those cows are depressed? I don't think so. Does it look as if there's what would you call it, a social status, like, you know what I mean, there's a middle class and upper class and lower class cows here? I don't think so, right? So, and they're not standing there and they're not pondering the big questions that us humans, why are we here and all this crap. They're just being cows. They're just being cows, and they do what cows do, which is sit down there, right, stroll around this field here, eating the grass and doing lots of shitting and swatting flies with their tails. And that's all they do every day. Now, you may say it looks like Duleek, and say, oh, they've only got 3 years to live, especially these beef cows here, right? But they've no concept of time. They're look at them. They've no concept of time. They're not jealous. They don't suffer from jealousy. You know, as I said to you, they're not going to psychiatrists. They're not reading positivity books or meditating. They're just being a cow. They're just being a cow. They're doing what a cow does, which is eat the grass and shit a lot and swat flies with their tails. That's what they do. Don't just cows. And that's why sometimes I wish I had the mind of a cow. That it didn't have this mad mind that's constantly searching and thinking and unsettled and whatever. So there you go. That's my little introduction to the cows. How are you doing today? Are you well? Oh, you're so lovely looking cows, actually. There's one down there, a young heifer, actually. So she's a milker. That's a milking cow down there. The brightest of the brown ones. There's a black cow. But yeah. Cool, isn't it? So that's just on the edge here of Duleek village. Here's a motorbike coming. Wow, look at that. Woohoo! Mad stuff. Yeah, so I'll just go back into the village here, people, and I'll finish the video of Duleek village from up here, okay? So this is the vets that my brother brings his dogs to, Duleek Veterinary Hospital. He has 3 dogs at the minute. He did have 5 of them. I often be thinking, oh shit, not another dog, you know. I says, I'm going to come home someday and there's possibly going to be a tiger or a lion in the back garden. You know, he's just mad into dogs, and I mean mad into the dogs. He walks them every single day, grooms them every single day. If it's raining, if there was snow, he'd still walk them and still groom them. Amazing. So I think this is called Mill Race here, not too sure. Just along here, and now I'm coming back out to Nanny's, what's it called again? Nanny's something. Sports bar? Nanny's is called anyway. I said to you, that was normally called, or it used to be called O'Neill's. Right, people, so that's it from the village of Duleek here in County Meath. Hope you've enjoyed it. Before I go, I just want to compliment and commend the people of Duleek here. And if you have a tidy towns committee here, they need to be congratulated, because the town is lovely and spotless clean. Very, very well looked after, I have to say. So, a compliments to the people of Duleek. So, that's it for now, my friends. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you all keep safe, and I'll see you all again in the next video. I don't know where it's going to be, but as usual, it'll be somewhere. So stay tuned. I'm normally up on a Sunday. Take care. Bye.